Well, joining us now, India's legendary wicketkeeper and opening batsman Farokh Engineer. I'm also joined by India's all-rounder Madan Lal. Thank you both very much for being with us. Farokh Saab, let me come to you first. Rohit Sharma in 5 innings in this tour has scored 31 runs at an average of 6.2, no 50s. Rohit Sharma, and Virat Kohli in 7 innings is averaging 27.8, 150, which is actually 100. The difference between winning the series and losing it seems to be these two batsmen, because we've done relatively well with the others. Do you believe that consistency is now a cause of serious concern?
Well, obviously it's a serious concern. Hello everybody. Good to see my old mate Madhi, looking well.
Hi, Brokey, how are you?
Smooth moustache there as ever.
Yeah.
But both Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli have been great cricketers and great stalwarts of Indian cricket. They've served Indian cricket admirably over the years. And I hear it's Rohit's desire to retire after the Sydney Test. And I think we should give him that respect, because he's a good player, can't become a bad player overnight. Okay, he's getting on a bit. We all get on. And there is a time when youngsters will replace us. But he's been out to some, both injudicious shots and, pretty good deliveries as well. I mean, the way Pat Cummins has been and has worked him out, and Virat Kohli for that matter, they've done their homework. Australia have just shown the greater desire to win this series than unfortunately India has. We've had our moments. We've had our moments of fighting spirit, some great knocks. Look at young Reddy. What a fantastic innings that was from him. Jaiswal's, innings have been superb. But unfortunately, the dropped catches, injudicious shots at the wrong time have cost us. We at important times of the match, we've failed.
Yeah.
And that's where Australia had the upper hand, and obviously won this Test match. It's a very crucial Test match. And I think this might even cause us the World Test Championship, that at Lord's. I'm not sure what the situation is. But South Africa certainly gained an upper hand.
As I understand it, Farokh Saab, to get in. But let me go across to Madan Lal. If you talk about Virat Kohli, an average of 27.8 in this series, and that's, purely on the back of one exceptional century. Where does that leave Team India?
See, that's a worrying point, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli has to get runs if they want to equal the series. That's a very, very important. Rohit Sharma is out of form. Virat Kohli got one for 100, but after that he didn't score many runs. But that's a worry point, because India needs a good start. India needs runs from them. That's the biggest worry, Indian camp has it. So it's worry us also, because they got chances, like Farokh said, they got chances to win the Test match, but they didn't capture it. That's the main thing. They drop catches. The partnership between Nathan and Alan, what's his name? Bolden. I think. What's his name? I am forgetting his name. They know that 63 runs partnership that cost them the match. Then Rishabh Pant getting out at the crucial stage. That's where I think we also opened the door for the Australians to win the Test match.
No, but Madan sir, let me ask you a very direct question. And the question is what we are debating tonight. Is it time for Team India to look beyond Kohli and Rohit Sharma?
Not at the moment. You don't have to be panicked. After the Sydney Test match, then they can decide whatever they want to do.
Yeah, so at the end of the series. At the end of the series,
it's their own call. Nobody can tell them whether you want to continue or not. But it's their decision. I always believe it's a very personal decision. And if they keep up the performance, they can carry on. But if they don't, then they have to take a call. Otherwise, the selector has to take a call.
If you were a selector, what would you, Madan sir, tell them at the end of the final Test match? Assuming they don't come up with any big scores?
If I was a selector, I was in the panel.
Yes.
I could have gone to them and talked to them because they had done very well for the country, and speak to them and then decide what we want to do about them. But at the moment, no panic. Just play the Sydney Test match, then see what happens. You never know; they might win in Sydney.
And then we'd be talking about how they should continue for that.
No. It's not. It's their call. Continue. It's their call. It's not our call. It's a very, very, very personal call. Retirement is they have to decide. That's the matter. If they don't.
No, but let me put that question to Farooq Saab. I think the question is it right for us to wait for them to decide when they go, or do we as a nation prioritize winning matches in series, and therefore tell them that, look, it is time now for you to go. We can't be losing in this manner with you scoring so little.
Yeah, well, we got one test match to go, one Sydney test match. And now that's our last chance to get even in the series. And I don't think this is the time to drop these two, because they could easily get hundreds for you. They have been match winners in the past. They've been out to good deliveries. Of course, they've had a loss of form. But who knows? The media and everybody has put a lot of pressure on them. But the last thing I would tell them, that look here, if you don't score runs in this match, you're going to be out. That puts even more pressure on them, even greater pressure on them. Just let them be. I mean, they've been great players to earn their place in the team, both Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Certainly they should not be dropped for this last test match. I would certainly play.
No, I don't think anybody is suggesting that drastic a change. I think it's the future that we're looking at.
Yeah. Have we got somebody who we are keeping out who's much better? Okay, Shubman Gill is there. He's a good player. He's a proved test opener. He's a very good player. But he's not that much more outstanding. What guarantee is that Gill will get runs? I hope he does. He's a very good player. But over this last test match, we should definitely stick to both Rohit and Virat, and perhaps take a call after the series. Perhaps when we have more time, in a cooler frame of mind, you decide. And as Madhi said, that you got to consult these two players. They've been great stalwarts of Indian cricket. You just don't show any disrespect. Just drop them like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's selectors should consider the next tour is England, isn't it? England are touring India in some limited over games, and of course, India tour England for a whole series.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the time you need experienced players as well, and so who knows if there are youngsters coming up. I mean, show me if there's another Shubman Gill, or if there's another young, Neeraj Kumar to come and take their place. Yes, they should certainly be considered. But for the time being, I think we shouldn't panic that much, and should continue with both Rohit and Virat.
Madan Lal sir, Virat Kohli's, some say the problem lies outside the off stump. For whatever the reason is, on the one hand, you've got perhaps the best cover driver in cricket, but he's also vulnerable outside the off stump over and over again. What would your advice to him be?
See, most of the batsmen are vulnerable outside off stump, because that's where the fielding is set. They have a 3 slip, 1 gully, and all the offside field. They keep on pegging it. In international cricket, they don't spare you. They just keep on. Even if you get 100, they will clap. But end of the day, they're going to do the job in offside off stump. If Virat Kohli has to decide whether he's going to leave it or just going to play that ball, then my only worry is about Virat Kohli is I hope that the fear of outside off stump doesn't go into his mind, because that's where sometimes you get out. And once he doesn't have the fear of getting out outside off stump, I think he will overcome this thing, But
I think
bowlers are going to do that all the time.
Madhi has made a very good point there. And also, your cover drive is your most... Now, Virat Kohli's cover drive, he's known for his cover drives. He makes them look so easy. And that is the shot that sometimes, more often than not, gets you out as well. Your favorite shot. So, I mean, just go over a period of time as he got more runs or as he got out more times. Nowadays, he seems to be getting out to that shot. So I think he's clever enough. He's good enough a player to decide whether to come, furthermore, I seen him come right across the stumps and play his cover drive, which he didn't do that before. In Australia, he's done that. He started batting outside the crease to start with, but now today, he was batting inside the crease. So he's obviously playing on his mind. He's trying different things. And he's good enough a player. He's a class player to realize what's good for him. And he can work it out for himself. He doesn't need any batting coach or anything like that. At that level, you know yourself what to do. And as I said, he gets out to that shot outside the off stump, but that's his most prolific scoring shot as well. And most people are vulnerable. Most batsmen are vulnerable outside the off stump to a ball leaving you, as Madan has quite rightly said. I'm sure he's foxed quite a few batsmen himself, chasing the ball outside the off stump. So that's the thing that an outswinger bowler looks at, and with reverse swing and all that, and so Virat can work it out for himself, but certainly
Madan,
not
sir, go ahead.
before this last Test match. Let them play this last Test match at Sydney, and I hope for their sake, for India's sake, that they both get 100 each.
Yep.
And prove everybody wrong, and
Sure.
let's hope we can win this Sydney Test match.
Madan Lal, go
save
ahead.
our face.
I think there is another thing which I think like Rishabh Pant not scoring runs in middle order because he is such a good player.
Yeah.
I know the Indian team depends upon him. He's getting out, and that's also where we are. I think not scoring many more runs. Today also once he got out, then Australia thought they can win it now. Because after that,
twice.
there is the
both
tail
innings it
starts,
happened.
how long they can hang around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
Rishabh
what
has thrown his wicket away
happened.
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he realized that at number 5, it's a very, very crucial position. He shouldn't be playing, those fancy shots before he really gets his eye in. Today he was playing so well, and I thought he's learned from his mistake in the first innings. But there was one fielder in the boundary line.
I just
and he
wanted
hit
to quickly
right into his hands.
go back to Madan Lal for just one moment. As a former India opening bowler, what Jasprit Bumrah is doing now is unbelievable. That he averages in Test cricket in the modern era less than 20. That this series in Australia, his average is significantly better than his normal average.
He's phenomenal.
It's Madan Lal, what would you have to say about Jasprit Bumrah? Wrap him up in cotton and
I
keep him
can
there?
only say that I can only say great. Like Australians are still not playing him well. They're still struggling. They're not facing him properly. So that's where the Jasprit Bumrah is the world class. And the thing is, he has all the things going on. He has a mix action, then he has a speed, Yorkers, and moving the ball outside stump and bringing the ball in. All these things he has it. That's why he's getting a lot of wickets, and the wickets also there's a bit of bounce but Bumrah knows where to pitch the ball. That is a very important. Which corridor you have to bowl. That is the important part of it. That's why he's getting a lot of wickets, and he's superb in this series. I'm a little bit I'm very unhappy because he's not winning. He's not in the winning side.
What more does a bowler need to do to win a Test match?
Well,
He's
Bumrah has
getting
been
wickets.
absolutely
Or 8
outstanding.
wickets
Can you imagine
a match,
Indian team without Bumrah? He's held the team single-handedly on his shoulders, and he expects the batsmen to back him up. But unfortunately, they have not backed him up. The fielding has not backed him up. So Bumrah has been let down badly by the rest of the team. Unfortunately, he's put his heart and soul into it, and what a big heart he has. And even when he gets the top batsman, Travis Head, Australian batsman, for 0, with an absolute beauty, he just smiles and says, no over gestures, nothing telling him to, no rude gestures to him and all that.
No
Shows what a
send-off,
great gentleman he is, and what a great bowler he's
All
been
right,
for India.
we'll leave it over there, gentlemen. Let's hope that we win that final Test match. There's a lot more in terms of Test cricket this year. Fabulous series. Thank you both for joining us.